Hey guys, Scott here. Usually before I make a video, I kind of like pace around in my room a little bit and kind of like rehearse what I'm going to say, like the general topics, so I have a somewhat, realistic flow for what I'm going to say. Here, I'm not doing that. I just stopped streaming the event 15 seconds ago prior to this, and I'm just going to baselessly rant about the event because in my opinion, it is quite bad. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever gotten, but it is bad in my opinion. Now, I played only killer here. I would imagine as survivor, I would probably enjoy it a lot more. So I'll just get this out of the way. The mode is absurdly survivor-sided. Just horribly, shamelessly survivor-sided. There's a couple of exceptions that I'll go into later that can make it feel killer-sided, but for the vast majority of killers, it is disgustingly survivor-sided. Now, to be fair, the actual anniversaries that we've gotten in the past have leaned towards favoring killer. Like the remote hooks to scourge hooks was just so nice. The zoning instant pallet break. Like there was a lot of shit you could do as killer that was pretty fucking strong. And what I thought they were going to do this year was go, okay, killer's got some pretty strong shit next year and survivors didn't, like the powers did not match how strong the killer powers were. So let's keep the killer stuff there, but let's add some very powerful effects to survivors so now they can have fun stuff to play around with too. So they gave survivors a bunch of powerful shit, but then they took the shit away from killer. Now killer doesn't really have anything outside of one gas power, and that's it. And so I thought they were going to give both sides interesting stuff to do, but they just took almost everything away from killer and gave everything to survivor. Again, I hate being tribalistic. I hate saying that things are blatantly X-sided or Y-sided, but this event is just blatantly survivor-sided. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing you can do, because I did find a winning formula was to basically to play hillbilly, play a killer, but top tier killer with a one shot. If you play a top tier killer with a one shot, you can basically cheese your downs with this gas stuff that you throw at the survivors, and then they get a stamina bar, and eventually they're going to run out of stamina, and then they have to walk, and then you just cheese a one shot chainsaw on them. That's basically the main way I found to win. That's like, but here's the thing. Doing that's not fun. That's not even enjoyable for me as killer. Like, yeah, I can start to win doing that, but as survivor, that's got to feel fucking miserable. And as killer, it's do we cheese one shots with my chainsaw using this gas, or do I lose? That's like those are your two options. That's super shit. So even though if I can win using that, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel like it's a well-earned victory. I back rev a guy, throw shit on them, and then they can't run after a few seconds, and then they just die. Like, that's equally shit on the other side. But if you're not playing a killer with a one-shot or a top tier, the other 40 killers in the game, you're just completely fucked. Because the shit that the survivors get just completely destroys everything that the killers can do. It was so funny. I was checking my streamer list because I was trying to see other things like, maybe I'm missing something. Every single killer player in my streamer list, they were all on Survivor. Every single one. And I was like, yeah, no, that tracks. So let's go over the shit the survivors can get. They can turn invisible on a whim, which basically means if you're playing Jason because he's new, if he's aiming your projectile, just turn invisible. Fuck you. He's just gone. You can also just turn invincible on a whim. Basically, you get this white glow around you for like 3 seconds, and you're just completely invincible. It's like a Giga Dead Hard, where it lasts for 3 seconds, and the killer doesn't even like collide with you. Like you actually just like, it's weird. Like I hit somebody with a chainsaw when they went invincible, and like the chainsaw stopped, but like I didn't stop the chainsaw as if I hit a survivor. It was really weird. Very fucky interactions with that overall, but you can turn invisible, you can turn invincible, you can get a shit ton of haste, you can also just be randomly fully healed. Like, the amount of times I was chasing survivors and I was about to down them, and then they just fully healed with no rhyme or reason. Like, I think a generator completed, which, does, like, the next phase or whatever, but they just full heal. And all survivors have to do there is have 4 entries to, like, the big table thing, which means each survivor can take 10 seconds doing the table interaction one time. And then they all get a full heal when the next thing procs. And that can fuck up your pressure so bad as killer. Like, I downed a person, as I think even in this B-roll, I downed a guy, and then before I can pick them up, and I was wiping my animation, they were, like, because I turned away for a second, and then they were just gone. And also, we have to deal with cross-examination or whatever, that ridiculously overpowered perk that will eventually be nerfed, but they decided to just keep it for a couple of weeks, I guess. I don't know. It's realistically, it's probably for console parity. the cynical version of me is they're just going fuck you. Like, but it's realistic probably because they can't update shit quick enough due to console parity and stuff like that. But so we have to deal with that. On top of all of those things, more pallets are spawning in the event. I provably tested this. I was on a wretched shop lobby and I saw double pallets everywhere, and they were not the pallets that the survivors could bring, and the survivors can build like those fragile pallets. They were just regular pallets. So just to show you exactly what I'm talking about, this is a double pallet tile. That was a regular pallet. This is also a regular pallet. These are not the ones that survivors can build. During the event, just more pallets seem to be spawning on top of the invincibility and the haste and the invisibility and the random heal and the pallets they can build. There's also just more pallets on the maps in the event mode. Now, I tested it in customs, not in the event mode, and it seemed fine. I didn't see any double pallets after like 5 checks. But several times, there was a swamp map right before this, there were double pallets everywhere. So I don't know why there are so many things in the survivor favor. And you know what? It would even be okay if the killers retained the shit from last time, where they actually had the remote pallet break and they had, like, you know, the teleporting hook. Give crazy powers to everybody, and then it becomes balanced because everyone has crazy shit. But all killers have is this gas shit, and here's what you do with it. Hit them with gas. Zone them. They become immensely slowed because of the gas, and then they die. Wow. Very engaging gameplay. Do this or lose. What a great event. Like, dude, like, that's not even an issue of balance. That's just fucking mind-numbingly boring. Like, I don't even want to do that as killer, but that's, like, the only way with, like, most of the killer roster. Also, it doesn't even work with most of the killer roster because this really only benefits, like, Bubba and Hillbilly, because you can get the one shot. But most killers are just going to get an M1, which is not really going to do that much for you. So it's just like, I don't know. The one thing that killers can do is mind-numbingly boring, and survivors have 76 powers that are not nearly hard enough to get and activate from what I've seen in my matches. So I'm not saying you can't win as killer. I'm saying you have to rely on some extremely boring bullshit cheese, or then you will lose. Like, I don't know. It's just, this event is just really bad. I played it for like 3 hours and I just stopped streaming, which is like much shorter than my normal streams because I was just so bored. It's not even, again, an issue of balance or I'm feeling robbed or like survivors are OP. I was just bored because I could win doing the cheese, and if I didn't, then I would lose every single game. So yeah, this event, I can't see myself playing this more than another day or two. It's just all of the things just stacking on top of each other make it very frustrating to play as killer unless you engage with the cheese, and then it's very frustrating for survivors. So there's no fun really being had if both people are doing the stuff that they should be doing in order to win. So yeah, big fat L on this event. I know I'm an official DBD content creator or anything, but I mean, I'm just being honest. I am not having fun with it at all. Hope you guys are. Hopefully, maybe I just got a string of really bad games in a row or something, but with all the things I just listed, I can't see myself playing this anymore. So that's it. Bye.